Another video news bulletin from The Wealth Vault, the preeminent membership club for alternative investment programs and private cash flow opportunities. Our mission is simple: to help you make, manage, and multiply money in uncommon and extraordinary ways. Now, stay tuned for the latest news.
Yep, what you see on the screen is absolutely true. It's the mindset that's permeating itself throughout the Western world. Major governments know what's best for their citizens more than the people know themselves. You're going to see more and more do-gooder regulations whose hidden agenda purpose is to condition the have-not portion of our country with the same old washed-up anti-market propaganda cliches. You're going to see cliches such as excessive ambition is bad, and ambition can be replaced with greed, meaning it soaks up the negative connotation the whiners and victims so adore. Excessive greed is bad. Excessive ambition is bad. The cliche will permeate throughout your existence through the mainstream media. The state of the U.S. economy is Wall Street's fault. It couldn't be further from the truth, by the way. And another cliche, always assume anybody operating in the markets that is not regulated by one of our overburdening rulemaking agencies is untrustworthy or unethical. So because of that, I want to talk to you today about some typical things that you can do to protect your assets, to have some financial privacy in your life. These are derived from the education of one of our sources, which is a financial privacy and asset protection specialist that all paid-up Wealth Vault members have access to. And no, I don't want any fundamentalist Christians replying and being offended at the fact that I'm using the word commandments or thou shalt throughout this presentation. Okay, so let's get to it. Our source tells it straight up. Many people view asset protection as the playground for the super rich. Some hear the words and cringe with fear. In reality, we should try to emulate the tools the super rich use to not only create wealth, but keep it as well. I mean, honestly, do you want to continue to copy what your broke brother-in-law does, or would you rather learn the tips and tricks of the super wealthy? Thought so. All right. So the first one, thou shalt avoid conspicuous and unnecessary consumption. Essentially, you want to avoid the appearance of excessive wealth just for the sake of being showy. So for starters, excessive consumption just leads to less net money at the end of the month. If you invest your money wisely, the magic of compounding growth has a profound effect over time. But if you spend it all, you lose this. In addition, when you are showy and pretentious, you are a target. Sam Walton drove a beat-up Ford pickup truck his whole life. Warren Buffett drives several old Lincolns. Do you need to impress them? Okay, number 2, thou shalt avoid putting assets in your own name. This is one of the key points of asset protection planning. As John D. Rockefeller said, own nothing, control everything. There are many tools available depending on your level of wealth and asset complexity, but it's important to get these assets out of your own name. This gives you a level of privacy where your assets are difficult to find, plus the legal protections that are that various entities offer. And I'm going to go to number 3. Thou shalt never co-sign loans. This includes for your kids. You are teaching them bad money management habits if you baby them through life. You're also putting your own assets at risk by signing your name on the line and taking responsibility for someone else's actions. Don't ever do this. And again, I'm reading from our sources' belief systems about the basics of asset protection. Thou shalt carry insurance. This can take many forms. He considers health insurance and life insurance a must. HDHP, also known as high deductible health plans, with an HSA health savings account, are a way to mitigate your health risk at a low cost. Term life insurance is an also cheap way to protect your family in the event of your untimely demise. And car insurance is another. If you're worth $5 million, do you really think the minimum coverage is enough? If you rear end somebody at a stoplight and his ambulance chasing attorney finds out your net worth, they're going to pursue you. And last but not least, carry an umbrella policy. This is very cheap insurance that covers you when all else fails. Next, thou shalt not serve on a board of directors. Basically, the idea here is that board members take some fiscal responsibility of the company in which they serve. So don't open yourself up to this kind of risk. You never know exactly what the company managers are doing. This also goes for nonprofits. Number 6, thou shalt avoid all bad debt. And what he means by bad debt is debt that doesn't make you money. So, for example, many people consider their house an asset. It's completely false. It's a liability unless, of course, you're renting out a portion of the home to generate income. So bad debt comes in many forms: mortgages, credit card, consumer loans, vacation, real estate, autos, etc. And the debt creates a minimum threshold of income you must produce in order to service your debt load. So if you lose your source of income for a period, you'll likely default on some of this debt, thus damaging your credit and your ability to obtain debt for a good purpose. So leverage is good when debt creates an income stream. Leverage is good when debt creates an income stream. That's important to say twice. Just don't over leverage. Number 7, thou shalt operate thy business from a corporate entity. This can be a corporation, limited partnership, liability company, limited liability company, but never, ever, ever operate your business as a general partnership or sole proprietor. You're limiting your tax savings potential and opening your personal assets up to the activities of the business if you do. This is a short road to poverty. Don't go down that road. Number 8, thou shalt not enter a partnership without a contractual exit strategy. This almost goes without saying, but he sees a lot of people who run their business with partners who don't have a partnership agreement. Best buddies today can be worst enemies tomorrow. So you got to plan for that. It can be very disruptive to your life if you have to deal with a partnership breakup. Like a marriage, it can get messy. Of course, you should have a partnership agreement there too, but he digresses. Number 9, thou shalt not put all thy eggs in one basket. It should go without saying, but most entrepreneurs he knows, the majority of their wealth is tied up in one business venture. If that goes bust, so does the entrepreneur. If your money is tied up in your house, you know how that's worked out over the past 2 years. Diversification is the key. So basically, put your cash from business, take your cash from your business and spread your investments across several asset classes: stocks, bonds, cash, real estate, gold, etc. This also holds true with how you hold your assets. He recommends to have an offshore bank and or investment account, and this allows you to diversify and mitigate your political risk. Number 10, thou shalt plan for the worst, but hope for the best. Maybe it seems both pessimistic and Pollyannish at the same time, but you get the idea. If you address your risk and take action steps to minimize them, you'll be well protected. Never get so pessimistic that you're always looking on the dark side. There's an opportunity around every corner. Just make sure you're open to see what amazing things lie ahead. And he wants to reiterate, those that fail to plan to fail. This is key. Don't allow your financial well-being to be determined by fate. Take the action steps now to plan for your future. You'll be glad you did. And for access to key contacts who can help shield you from excessive intrusions into your private life, you want to see our People to Know folder inside the Wealth Vault. You'll have access to this source along with many, many others who can help you shield your wealth, protect your assets, and basically just have a sovereign a sovereign setup. Okay, until next time, as always, your partner in the quest for living a life without limits.
Not a Wealth Vault member yet? Simply go to wealthvault.net/YouTube for a special gift.